Alright. Let's try this again. Now with normal difficulty, so to speak. So, first things first, I'll note that I'm basically recording this with DFuxa gear. I recorded previous playlists with fraps, and we're gonna try this with DFuxa gear. Unlike the corner over here, you'll see I have a little number over. That's basically for my FPS. I've been having trouble recording with this, so I'm just gonna see if I can record with it or not. So, this is Barony Cursed Edition. For those who are basically joining me for the first time, this is a first-person roguelike. Very much in the same vein as Delver, which they did playlist back in the day. I've already basically done a playlist of this game, and essentially in that playlist I went to the settings here, and I basically went to miscellaneous settings and went and fiddled with the game flags. These game flags dictate stuff that will appear in the game or happen in the game. So if you want, you can have friendly fire where you hurt other people, minotaurs, which basically are the Splunky Ghost, the Hunger Clock, which is basically it basically has the general roguelike trope where if you get hungry you start to die. And then there's traps, which basically are traps. You can turn this stuff off or change how hunger works, so it's basically no longer a thing. But basically I'm gonna leave them all on for this playlist. Alright, let's try this again. So, I'm not sure if you're basically missing the first part of this episode, but anyways. This is Barony Cursed Edition. I'm playing with normal difficulty. Let's start get into it, I guess. But first, let's just jump into the introduction just one more time. So here's the introduction for this game. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there stood a town called Hamlet. For generations, Hamlet served as a thriving center of commerce for all the neighboring cities, and the luck of its people was second to none. That was until Baron Hurst came to rule the land. The Baron, in his endless greed, forced his citizens to dig the surrounding hills for gold, though the earth had never yielded such treasure before. Meanwhile, as the people were forced to work, they schemed to undo their unjust leader. Eventually, they were able to trick him with a promise of gold and seal him within the mines themselves. However, in the years that passed, since the people of Hamilton did away with their ruler, things did not go well for the people of the village. In a twist of fate, a variety of monsters began to erupt from the ground around the town. Some thought it to be Hurst exacting his revenge from beyond the grave, but none could be sure, and eventually all trade in and out of the town stopped completely. Today, the region of Hamlet is considered cursed, and no one even knows if the town still exists. So that's basically the introduction to Barony Cursed Edition. Let's make our first character notes to basically jump in. Now, I'll note that these characters, you basically have a little bit of customization for these characters. You basically have male and female, and this actually does something in this game. So if you're playing a male character, you get 1 additional strength and 1 less dexterity. And if you play a female, you get basically 1 more dexterity, but 1 less strength. So basically just more athletic is the female, more powerful is the man, I guess, we'll say. As you can probably, guess. There's essentially classes in this game, but these basically just dictate what skills you start out with. You can basically get all the same skills of any class, so if I went with a barbarian and start casting spells, eventually, become a wizard. So it would take a lot of time to do so. Basically, the skills that you can get, I can learn to be a wizard and cast spells with the barbarian, but the barbarian's gonna take a long time to do it. Now, for this playthrough, we're gonna play with the merchant. The merchant is basically a skilled trader. And he's essentially, really good at identifying objects, which is very important in this game. Appraisal in this game is something that's essential for basically, using items, because a lot of the stuff you'll find is cursed. And if you put it on, it's basically a sticky curse, so it'll basically, not be taken off. So you want to be very careful what you put on. Now, note that this is actually going to be my second attempt at recording this. I actually had problems recording this the first time, but we'll see that'll be the case here. And yeah, we can customize how we look. Let's put on maybe the high watch, and let's go from there, maybe. Or no, let's go with the hard-bred. This is Davian Merchant Dice. Why not? Now, I love that this game is a cooperative game if you want to play with your friends. I think you'll have to, like, I never actually done, like, cooperative, but as you can see, basically have, like, you know, host multiplayer, direct IP, and, like, host multiplayer and join multiplayer and all that other stuff. I might look into that in the future, but for now, let's just play a single player here. So welcome to Barony, daily merchandise. You see at the bottom, I have basically a little message string, much like, you know, other roguelikes.
Another one joins the fray.
Now, that purple text is basically the lich there. And, essentially, Baron Herx turns into a lich in this game, and that's who you're basically gonna fight. Here's my journal. This will basically give you a little bit more input on what's going on. So let's do that. We'll read this. I'll identify two. So, a note, by the way, if you, like, you know, basically, like, you know, press shift and, like, right-click and appraise stuff, or if you, you know, basically right-click and just, like, you know, hold it and basically select what you want to do with it. Here's my journal. After traveling for days, I finally found it. The ruins of the town once known as Hamlet. This place is a veritable wasteland. Almost nothing is left of the grand buildings I read about in the history books. The only structure still standing is this entrance to the mines. It is quite large, and the door only opens one way. It seems once I go in, there will be no coming out, but I am determined to dispel whatever evil has taken its place, and so I must proceed. My only hope is my quest will not be in vain. Gods above protect me as I enter this forsaken place. So yeah, that's basically the situation. You're entering a, you know, a cursed place, so to speak. Now, this merchant is basically, here's what it's all about. You essentially start out with, like, you know, stats basically arranged, like, depending on what, like, you know, section you basically chose and, like, you know, what class you basically picked. The merchant essentially, he starts out with 0 strength and 0 dexterity, and then he adjusts basically if he's a male or female. So females basically will get, like, 1 more dexterity and 1 less strength. I get basically 1 more strength and 1 less dexterity, as you see. I basically have average constitution. I have a little bit less than, like, you know, average intelligence. I have better than average perception, which is basically PER, and I have 1 in charisma. Now, these stats basically do different things for you, by the way. You have basically strength, basically, you know, dictates how much you can carry, how much you hit in melee. You have dexterity, basically indicates, like, you know, how fast you move around, and, like, how good you are basically with, you know, with, like, you know, deft movements, I would say. Constitution basically dictates how fast you basically recover health, as well as how fast you recover from, like, status ailments. Intelligence basically dictates how well you're good at casting spells. Perception basically dictates how good you're at, like, you're good at, like, appraisal and seeing in the darkness. And charisma basically dictates, like, you know, how good you are with interacting with other characters in the game. So traders, other humans, and stuff like that. I start off with 500 gold as a merchant because I'm a merchant and, you know, I trade a little bit. I have 3 AC because that's basically from, like, you know, my breastplate here, as well as my leather gloves. My weight total is right now is 275. I can carry a little bit more, and I probably will actually do that, show that in a little moment. But for now, here's my skills. Basically, I have, like, you know, here's, like, how the skills work in this game. Basically, you have, like, you know, you have no skill in, like, something. So I have, like, no skills in locks. I might have basic skill in something, which basically means that I'll have, like, you know, a little bit of skill in it, but I've only, like, sort of dabbled in it. Eventually, it needs to improve, like, to be, like, novice and good and stuff like that. Right now, I've got, like, skilled in trading and appraisal, so I'm actually really good at trading and appraising. So if I come across, like, anyone, I can, like, basically trade them very easily. And if I have, like, you know, stuff to appraise, then I can easily, like, you know, identify real quick. I also have basic axe skill, but that's nothing really to cry home about. I gotta change to any type of weapon if I find a better one than the bronze axe. Alright, so that's basically the character here. Now, I'll note that my inventory, I have a spellbook up here. I don't have any spells just yet, but this is where I basically find them. And then I have, like, all sorts of stuff. I have a little bit of food, I have a removed curse scroll. I have some spectacles, which basically improve my perception a little bit. If I take these off, you'll notice I basically have, like, only 1 perception, so these are basically actually give me a little bit of perception, these, like, glasses here. I'll keep these on for a while until, like, you know, I basically am like a legendary appraisal. Now, I guess before we do anything else, we're gonna take a couple of these torches from the wall. So you guys should take torches if you want, like this. And these actually weigh a little bit, but I'm basically gonna use these for lighting up my way inside the place. But right now, here's what we're gonna do with this pickaxe. Stuff I know about the merchants is that they don't really have very good weapons to start off with, but they can do this with the pickaxe. So pickaxes break down walls like this, and this is, like, how you can escape some situations. And now I can take all these rocks here. And these rocks will be very useful because I can basically use these to basically attack stuff with. So these are basically going to be, like, my weapons of choice. I can use these to basically throw at people. And they're actually pretty powerful. I'll grab a few more torches on the way. 5 will be enough. Now I have to be very careful with my weight, by the way. You'll notice that my weight's gone up to 545. These things weigh a lot, these rocks and these torches, so eventually I'm going to have to ditch them, but for now they're going to be good, like, you know, early weapons, so to speak, for a merchant. Alright, let's visit the first part of the dungeon. By the way, up here you can see my time I've basically been playing. So something nice about this game is I basically have a sort of in-game clock. And here's level 1. On level 1 I'll basically be fighting skeletons, rats.
Well, good luck.
Maybe a ghoul if I spawn one. These creatures can spawn ghouls. We'll probably get to that in a bit. A skeleton died somewhere. Now it's worth knowing that skeletons and rats will actually fight each other, because skeletons don't like the living. We'll kill that rat. Yeah, that's like how I can use my rocks. I can basically throw it at people like that. Here's where a skeleton died, apparently. I can tell by the leftover sword. So here's basically what Barony is all about. You're wandering around in first person in a dungeon. Now you want to be very careful when you have a torch like this, by the way. Torches actually, like, you know, they make it easier for you to see around yourself, but they also light up your presence, so you can be basically seen by the enemies too, very easily. That's it for that guy. Pick up my rocks, because, you know, rocks are rocks for throwing at people. Now here's a rough gem. Gems are basically the most valuable thing in this game, but they're hard to identify. And there's my hunger basically kicking in. So as you play, you'll get hungrier and hungrier. Essentially with hunger, you'll basically start off with, like, you know, basically being, like, you know, getting like weaker as you get really hungry. But as like you get like even hungrier and past that, you'll find that, like, you know, you'll basically start to, like, you know, starve to death as you get really hungry. Here's a fountain. Be very careful with these fountains. They're basically shrines in this game. And they can basically do random stuff. You can spawn, like, you know, suckers to attack you. They can, like, blind you. They can confuse you. They can do a lot of stuff to you that you may not want. Alright, let's identify some of this stuff. And by the way, you can actually eat, like, cursed cheese. It's not going to hurt you, so you basically do that. It can't... now, cheese by itself is moldy. Can't actually cause you to throw up or anything. In this game, you can actually vomit if you want, but... or, you know, if you don't want, but... it's something that can happen in your vomit. There's a nice little scroll to keep around. That's a brand... well... I'm not sure if this is good or bad, this scroll here. This will basically repair something. I'm gonna try repairing maybe this leather breastplate. Alright, so that doesn't actually help my leather breastplate, that scroll, so... there's basically, like the scrolls in the books in this game, they'll actually, like, you know, not really help you. So you have to be very careful of their use. Okay, that's going out. Let's just get rid of it. Put this here. Let's eat that. Alright, so there's, like, basically, like, you know, you're throwing up. You can actually throw up from moldy cheese. You have to be very careful with moldy cheese, as you can see. There's a potion of healing. Now that's gonna help me if I get hurt, so I'm gonna keep that around. There's some fruit juice. I can drink that and it'll basically help me, you know, recover my health a little bit. Or my food, rather. And I'll keep this around just to equip it on a shield. That can be useful for, like, you know, equipment if I need to. And I'm getting hungry yet again, but whatever. It happens. Now, in this game, you can actually throw around potions, so maybe I'll keep this confusion around. Try identifying this ring. This ring here is, Ring of Warning. This is actually a really good ring to put on, because this basically lets you know where monsters are. On this mini-map, you'll see, like, purples where basically enemies are, and those basically where you can find, you know, enemies to fight, or, you know, avoid, depending on what I'm going for. I'll try identifying this gem, but I'm probably going to fail. Alright, the cool waters refresh me. Not sure what that does, but oh well. Now, there are traps in this game, but I've yet to find any. Which is good, in a way. Traps in this game are, like, deadly. There's a way down to the next level. There's a skeleton to fight. We'll identify the stuff here. Alright, I'm getting really weak, so it's time to eat some meat, I guess. That meat hit the spot. So it's worth knowing that meat will, like, you know, basically restore your hunger a whole lot, so you want to save onto it a little bit. Here's a helmet. I will discard that. It's cursed. That's okay. Alright, there's a nice scroll, remove curse. That's basically going to be useful if I want to remove curses, but we'll keep it reserved for now. So here's a grave. Sometimes when we disturb these, you'll get, like, these guys popping out there, zombies. As you can see, they can hurt you a lot, so you have to be very careful of them. Now, he dropped some moldy meat. I probably would never eat moldy meat from a, you know, a zombie, because they're, like, you know, zombies. And it's cursed out to boot, so nothing good about that, right? Now, it's worth knowing I got injured there, so my health will actually regenerate a little bit over time. And this is, like, only going to happen with, like, you know, the hunger mechanism on. Basically, with hunger, you have regenerating health in this game. Without you don't. You basically don't regenerate your health at all. You'll basically have to eat food to regenerate your health. Alright, we gotta still someone locked in one of these things here. It's probably a skeleton. There's a slightly aged apple. There goes that guy. So I kill everything on the level, and now I basically got, you know, no purple to show up. All that for a cracked rock, not too useful. There's a cursed apple, we'll put it right there for now. There's in our helmet. I'll put that on over my Farragon hat. We'll keep that axe in reserve as well, much like the other stuff. Put that there. Identify you, identify you. Bottle of booze. Booze will actually restore your food if you want, but you can probably guess what it does. Yes, there's a booze effect in this game. And something not here. Let's identify this ring. I'm basically identifying everything to get my appraisal up more, because the more appraisal I have, the better it is to identify stuff. Basically, if you saw there, I failed to identify that ring. And that can happen, by the way, if you have low appraisal. So, you want to basically keep, you know, upping your stuff as much as possible. The boots. I can wear boots, so those go on. I accidentally drank that potion. I didn't mean to do that, but whatever. It was just water, so it wasn't really that beneficial to me anyways. That could have been bad though. It could have like drank poison or something like that. This is not a game you want to quaff ID, by the way, because there's really no point to it. Quaff ID does not help you at all. We're gonna keep trying to identify this rough gem, but you basically sometimes get like a appraisal from like, you know, failing to identify stuff, so I'll keep trying to appraise. Trying being the objective word. There's a ring here. That might be useful. We'll see. Identify it before a gem. There's a +1 ring of Constitution. That's okay, but I got, like, you know, this ring of warning. Actually, I might take this around because it's flawed. I might be able to sell that to a jewelsmith. Alright, so there's like lore books in this game. Here's like, you know, the worker's journal. Basically, that'll give you some information and like, you know, what's going on in the dungeon, I guess. There's a slime. Slimes aren't actually tough, but they, you know, have lots of HP, as you saw. Now, you have to be careful with these books, but, you know, these, like, lore books don't actually hurt you, so there's lore books. I'm not going to read those, what they're all about, those lore books. If you want that, you have to go to the other Let's Play, because I basically read them all except for, like, one. So, if you're looking for the lore, it won't be from this episode, or these episodes. Alright, well, I basically searched the entirety of, like, level 1. Level 1's usually very forgiving, and it gives you lots of, like, you know, time to basically explore around, have a look around at stuff. One of the good things about it. Nice, a ring of strength. Let's pick up a few more torches, I guess. I feel hungry again, so let's just, Oh! I ate rotten food again. You have to be very careful of, like, you know, rotten food. Basically, rotten food actually causes you to lose hunger, so if it looks like it's gonna be, like, you know, rotten, it's probably not good to eat it. I'm actually down to 1 cheese. That's actually not good at this point. I should have, like, you know, a lot more food stockpiled, but whatever. Let's equip one of these, I guess, and we'll go to the next level. Alright, you hear this pickaxe is striking rock. That means that there's a gnomish mine in the area.
My Minotaur is hungry.
And that means that,
You should be when he arrives.
that means I have to run away, like, real fast. I have to find the exit to this level now. There it is right there. So, basically, the Minotaur is going to spawn this level at some point. By the way, there's a trap right there. So, if I throw, like, this over here. I said over here. There's a bullet trap. It does what you can probably expect it to. There's a human over here I'll try and recruit. You can actually recruit other humans in this game, so let's try and do that. There's a chasm, by the way. Chasms, you know, will kill you if you try and drop down them, so I'm picking up lots of rocks here. Let's identify what I can here. I got enough of those. Let's get rid of that. I don't want to be here when a Minotaur comes, so I basically have to, you know, look at this stuff real quick. Emerald apple. Now I could, like, stay around a little bit longer, but let's just get going. Alright, you hear the faint sounds of bustling streets. So, that means there's, like, another special place.
My Minotaur is hungry.
Again?
Let's not linger here for much longer, mortal.
Well, I have to find the exit yet again real quick, but it's over here, so it's all good. Rat meat. Excellent. Okay, you have to hit these levers by the way to get into the secret area, so we're gonna do that. There's apparently a spider somewhere around here. In there, okay. So there's like the exit if I want to get out of here, but let's just hit these things. There's a spider. Spiders sometimes spawn in the dungeon. They aren't too deadly, but they can kick your ass if you're you know, low level. Kill him. He had a thing there. Gotta identify all this real quick. Don't care about this. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. That's worth keeping around. Drink this. Alright, well. Really what I should be doing now is trying to get out of here, so let's do that. Oh crap, so there's a lever over there to basically open that, but I can't open it, so... we're gonna have to think about going this way, I guess. Get rid of this. Now, I identify before a Minotaur shows up, but basically when a Minotaur shows up, you really don't want to be on this level, honestly. And there it is. That Minotaur basically shows up as like that blinking thing there, so be careful of him. And there he is right over there. Don't be around when the Minotaur's around, because he will kick your ass. Alright, looks like the Minotaur isn't showing up in this level, which is good. Oh, rotten food. Wow, I'm starving myself here. That sucks, but oh well. Bah! Worthless glass. I remember I have that booze, so I can actually drink that booze to eventually recover my stuff. And someone apparently triggered a boulder trap somewhere. Alright, you know what? Let's actually use these like potions up a little bit. So, yeah, you can equip potions like this and then throw them at people. That's how those work. There's that. He's confused and he's running away. Potions, they rock when used appropriately. There's strangulation, by the way. So strangulation is actually something you never want to put on. It'll basically kill you, so never, like, you know, use strangulation if you can. Put that there. There's light. Light basically lights up the way around you, so that's cool. I think I'm gonna ditch that. Let's take all those torches at this point. Torches aren't that useful in the long run, so I'll start getting rid of them now. Identify this stuff. There's another level. Look, we got like a special, you know, thing here, so that's cool. There's a bronze shield. We'll basically cast that away, I guess. I got an iron shield, so a lot better. Okay, there's a worn tin opener. Those will be useful if I need to find, you know, tins to basically open. I look peckish. So these mirrors can let you know like how hungry you are. They aren't that great, so I'm just gonna not worry about them. I'm gonna basically look around for loot. Because it looks like there's no Minotaur this time around. Yeah, the Minotaur will basically spawn sometimes constantly like that, back to back. Annoyingly. Okay, here's a faded spellbook. These basically teach you spells if like you can learn them. I'm probably not gonna be able to learn spells, so depending on what the spell is, it is Force Bolt. I've learned Force Bolt, so here's like a spell. Basically when you learn a spell you can put them down here. And you basically equip them and you can like cast spells at people. As an offense. Now I'm moving pretty fast. This is because my dexterity is improved. As you get more and more dexterity, you'll basically get, you know, better at casting spells. And this is crap. That's okay, but I don't care about it. This is Identify. Yoink. I got Rough Sapphire. That's a really nice gem. So as you can see, these are worth a lot of gold if you can basically find merchants to sell them to. Which I would like to do, but I have to do it when there's like no Minotaur around to kill me. There's healing. There's some spectacles. So you can prepare glasses I can, you know, use those. If I wasn't a merchant, I could use those to increase my perception by a little bit. A lot of stuff in here. Another spellbooks and service gauntlets. All good stuff. Alright, these are awesome gauntlets, so those are actually going to be my endgame gauntlets, so we'll get rid of those ones. Here's a spellbook. It has got on it locking. Locking takes a while to basically learn, so I might ditch that one, but I might keep around this for now. And there's a Ring of Strength. Again, we'll maybe keep that for selling. Some of the stuff, you know, I actually might want to ditch at this point because this stuff, you know, it's lightweight, the like gems and like the rings. This is actually going to be worth a lot of money to basically sell if I need to, so stuff like that. Alright, I might use this to go kill spiders in here. There's basically spiders cackling, you know, like crazy. Invisibility is to makes you so you can't see your avatar, and that's basically how that works. So that's it for the spiders. And this final one is probably going to be a very dangerous enemy to fight, but he sometimes shows up and good time to show him. He's a troll, and he is pretty much a troll, as you can probably guess. As you can see, he's very stupid and slow. But lots of health and he can pack a punch. Ow. As you see, casting is very hard for me because I don't have a lot of skill in it. But that's it for him. Now I can use all the stuff that was basically dropped by my friend here as well as the troll. And let's eat some moldy cheese. That figures. Eat all that. Let's look at the warm breastplate he's wearing. It's okay, we'll put it on. Don't need those. Here's the worn leather boots he basically had. I can replace those with these. I should probably have this on, so we'll get those ready. I'm gonna ditch the rocks at this point. They've served their purpose more or less. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let's drink the booze. So yeah, what a buzz. You feel pretty good. It actually helps out your, I think your food a little bit. Not sure. Basically, you know what a buzz does. It basically, you know, buzzes you. so to speak. Some more potions. Some blindness that blinds people. Fruit juice that restores your thing. Blindness, blindness, blindness. I should probably ditch one of these axes at this point. So let's ditch that. You know what? We're gonna go pick up all these rocks I basically ditched. Because they are good weapons, still. I feel very weak because I'm basically, you know, parched like by hunger by a lot. I'll carry 6 rocks for now, until I find like a actual suitable ranged weapon to use. Actually, you know what? Let's just ditch it. It's actually weighing me down a lot, these rocks, so now I can move around a little bit faster. Let's go some sort of steel boots. These are the best boots you can possibly wear, possibly, if they're enchanted. But you're not supposed to put those there. I feel very faint. We'll eat that. There's some more meat if we need it, so that's cool. On Giantism in our lore book. Another spell book. And this one is going to be Confuse. Confuse is a very interesting spell. It basically, like, you know, confuses stuff so that it'll basically be, you know, confused. When you're confused, you basically have your controls inverted, which is fun. With monsters, I think they sort of like attack each other or move randomly. Alright, lots of meat. Rats give lots of meat, which is great. So, we're actually going to stock up on food here a little bit. Luckily. There's an excellent bear trap. These can be used to slow down the oncoming minotaurs. Basically use them and then, like, stuff will, you know, be trapped by it. Let's look at this, look at that. Food! Excellent! There's, like, you know, a nice little scroll. That gives you lots of food when you use it. The food is no longer an issue for me for a while. Try identifying this. There's a way out. I'm starving, so when you're starving, you definitely want to eat some food. If you don't eat food when you're starving like that, you're basically going to start getting damaged, so... There is Confuse again, so don't need to have that many confused scrolls. And that is a potion of healing. We'll keep that around. This is turning out to be a pretty good run of the merchant so far. Well, when I first played the merchant with like other characters, like, you know, my first time playing it, this game my ass handed to me a lot, but looks like I improved this game quite a bit, so I'm surviving much more. What is in here, if anything? There's a ring. So, Ajora is basically going to boost your charisma if you put it on. So, that's okay. It's good for selling. Another gem. We'll try identifying it. That's basically it for this level, though. Now, when you basically get to level 5 of the level, it essentially is like a sort of like checkpoint place. You can take your time here to do stuff if you need to. But next time we'll be going to the swamp. So for now, that's it for the first episode of, like, you know, I guess normal difficulty of Barony. I'll see you guys next time for now. Let's just put this hotkey down here. And you're okay right there. I still need to find a ranged weapon. But whatever, I'll do that next time. Take care.